Charles Lucky Luciano, born Salvatore Lucania in 1897, hailed from the rough streets of Lercara Fridi, Sicily. At 10, his family boarded a ship to America, seeking hope and opportunity. They settled in New York City, a bustling melting pot. This move set the stage for Luciano's infamous rise. New York City in the early 1900s was a breeding ground for opportunity and lawlessness. Young Luciano was drawn to the city's dark underbelly. He engaged in petty crimes and mingled with gangs. His intelligence and ruthlessness attracted seasoned criminals. Early encounters with the law fueled his criminal ambitions. He forged alliances and eliminated rivals. His reputation as a cunning operator grew. Surviving gang wars, he earned the nickname Lucky. He envisioned a more organized and profitable criminal enterprise. Prohibition, with its lucrative opportunities for bootlegging, became Luciano's springboard to power. He recognized the potential of this new illicit market and wasted no time in capitalizing on it. His network of contacts and his willingness to use violence gave him an edge in the cutthroat world of bootlegging. He forged alliances with Jewish and Irish gangsters, recognizing that collaboration could lead to greater profits. Luciano's rise was not without its challenges. The established Mafia bosses, known as the Mustache Petes, clung to traditional ways and viewed Luciano's modern approach with suspicion. They saw his collaborations with non-Italians as a threat to their authority and the sanctity of their traditions. This clash of old and new would ultimately lead to a bloody power struggle. The Castellamarese War, a brutal conflict between the traditional Mafia factions and the younger, more ambitious gangsters like Luciano, erupted in the late 1920s. This war, fueled by greed and a desire for control over the lucrative rackets, painted the streets of New York City red with blood. Luciano, however, saw an opportunity in the chaos. Recognizing the need for change, Luciano orchestrated a daring move. He betrayed his own boss, Giuseppe Joe the Boss Masseria, aligning himself with rival boss Salvatore Maranzano. This strategic move shifted the balance of power and ultimately led to the end of the Castellamarese War, with Luciano emerging as the victor. With his rivals eliminated, Luciano wasted no time in reshaping the Mafia in his own image. He established the 5 families of New York City, a move that brought structure and hierarchy to the previously chaotic world of organized crime. This new structure aimed to reduce infighting and maximize profits, a testament to Luciano's strategic thinking. Luciano's vision extended beyond the traditional rackets of gambling, extortion, and loan sharking. He recognized the potential of labor racketeering, infiltrating unions and industries to control vast streams of revenue. This bold move demonstrated his understanding of the evolving economic landscape and his ability to adapt to new opportunities. Under Luciano's leadership, the 5 families flourished. Their influence permeated various aspects of New York City life, from the docks to the garment district. Luciano's reputation as a ruthless and cunning mobster, combined with his ability to maintain a low profile, made him a formidable force in the city's underworld. However, Luciano's reign at the top of the Mafia would be challenged by law enforcement, particularly by a young and ambitious prosecutor named Thomas Dewey. Dewey, determined to bring down Luciano's criminal empire, targeted his lucrative prostitution rackets, using the testimony of former associates to secure an indictment. Even as he faced legal challenges in New York, Luciano's ambitions extended far beyond the city's borders. He envisioned a national crime syndicate, a unified front of organized crime that transcended ethnic boundaries and operated across state lines. This audacious idea, born from Luciano's desire for greater power and influence, would have a lasting impact on the American underworld. To realize his vision, Luciano sought to build alliances with powerful mobsters from other cities, recognizing that collaboration would be key to success. He understood that a unified front would be more effective in controlling illegal activities and expanding their reach. This move signaled a major shift in the landscape of organized crime. The creation of the National Crime Syndicate marked a turning point in the history of the American Mafia. It formalized cooperation between different criminal organizations, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. This newfound collaboration allowed them to expand their operations into new territories and industries, solidifying their grip on the underworld. Luciano's brainchild, the National Crime Syndicate, thrived under his leadership. It became a powerful force in the underworld, influencing everything from labor unions to political campaigns. His vision of a unified criminal enterprise had become a reality, forever changing the face of organized crime in America. As the world plunged into World War II, Luciano's criminal empire faced a new set of challenges and opportunities. With America's entry into the war, the government became increasingly concerned about sabotage and espionage along the nation's coastlines. This concern would lead to an unlikely and controversial alliance. In a move that shocked many, Luciano, despite being incarcerated for his prostitution conviction, offered his services to the government. He promised to use his influence over the waterfront to prevent sabotage by Axis powers, a proposition that the authorities, desperate to protect national interests, found difficult to refuse. The details of Luciano's wartime cooperation with the government remain shrouded in secrecy and controversy to this day. Some argue that he provided valuable intelligence and assistance, while others maintain that his contributions were exaggerated in exchange for leniency. Regardless of the truth, this wartime pact had significant consequences. In recognition of his alleged cooperation, Luciano's sentence was commuted, and he was deported to Italy in 1946. This decision sparked outrage among some who viewed it as a betrayal of justice, while others saw it as a necessary evil in a time of war. Luciano's exile marked the end of an era in American organized crime, but did little to diminish his influence. Exiled from the country he had helped shape, Luciano found himself back in familiar territory, the world of organized crime. He settled in Italy, where he attempted to rebuild his criminal empire and reassert his authority over the American Mafia from afar. Despite his exile, Luciano's influence over the American Mafia remained strong. He continued to receive a cut of the profits from various rackets and maintained contact with his associates in the United States. His reputation as a cunning strategist and a ruthless leader ensured that his words carried weight even from across the Atlantic. However, Luciano's exile came at a price. He was separated from the world he knew best and the action he craved. He lived a life of luxury in Italy, surrounded by associates and beautiful women, but it was a hollow victory. The streets of New York, the city he had conquered, were forever out of reach. Luciano's later years were marked by a mix of success and frustration. He enjoyed the trappings of wealth and power, but yearned for the control he once wielded. His story serves as a reminder that even the most powerful figures in organized crime are not immune to the consequences of their actions. Lucky Luciano's life, a tale of ambition, violence, and power, left an undeniable mark on the landscape of organized crime. He rose from the slums of Sicily to become one of the most powerful criminals in American history, transforming the Mafia into a sophisticated and ruthless enterprise. Luciano's legacy is a complex one. He was a ruthless killer who orchestrated the deaths of countless rivals, yet he was also a visionary leader who brought order to chaos, shaping the American Mafia into the hierarchical structure it retains to this day. His innovations in organization and his willingness to break with tradition paved the way for the modern Mafia. Despite his life of crime, Luciano's story continues to fascinate. He is remembered as a symbol of both the allure and the brutality of the underworld, a man who embodied the American dream's dark side. His life serves as a cautionary tale of ambition, power, and the corrupting influence of the criminal underworld. From the streets of New York City to his exile in Italy, Lucky Luciano's story remains a captivating and enduring chapter in the annals of organized crime. His legacy, both celebrated and reviled, continues to shape our understanding of the Mafia and its impact on American society.